Hey guys, this is the Justice for All podcast. This is our first live video coming right at you. And today I think we're going to decide to do just a debate, another debate for you guys. A few more topics than last time. So, is there anything you wanted to add, Gibbs?
I don't think so. We can get to go into it, I guess.
Yeah. So, the first topic. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say we're gonna just go through some major topics on what website is it? Procon.org.
Yeah, like with some issues and things like that.
Yeah.
So the first topic is alternative energy versus fossil fuels. So Gage, if you have, what are your views on this?
I mean, I support all kinds of energy. Whatever works. I definitely think some alternative energy sources have promising statistics. For example, like nuclear energy creates a ton of energy. There are some downsides to it, like nuclear, like definitely like the waste and stuff. Like solar energy, you can say that it doesn't work, in cloudy places, maybe like Seattle, or and the same with wind energy as well. But it's definitely cleaner than fossil fuels, and it would, it's not as, there's not as many pollutants, I guess. The only downside would be like definitely the technology's not there yet. I don't think to be able to like be fully sustainable on non-renewable resources, because like they haven't had really any promising, starts with cars and stuff. They have electric cars, but the average person can't afford it because they're at least $60,000. And so, gas is going to be around for the foreseeable future, I think. Any oil, plastic, whatever, I think it's going to be around for a while longer as they work to, move away from it. But I would say definitely use all of our sources for now.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that we should focus on. I'd probably kick it to the states, see what states want to do. Otherwise, like places that don't want to drill, just buy oil from other places. So that's something that they're more comfortable with, and just budget that federally, I guess. And then additionally, just tighten up the budget to like focus on the innovation for the future fueling, because I think that nuclear is definitely the way to go in the future once you figure that all out. And then, if we can't, if it doesn't work out the way it's supposed to, I think then that we could do like drilling maybe more so and all that. Just because like I do think that we should go toward the future more so. I don't think it's necessary then to use up all of our resources in case that we need to use them later. And then just create jobs now for like a better future, and then focus on that stuff, and we can innovate and start that, and kind of be the leader in a new industry kind of deal,
Yeah. See,
So,
I think we would disagree there as far as non-renewable sources go.
Yeah.
Because I think that we should, be using our full potential everywhere. I'm in favor of expanding drilling. It definitely creates good paying jobs for a lot of people. There are some environmental impacts, but there's environmental impacts with other sources as well.
Yeah. Well, that's a maybe.
And it's a cheap and readily available source of energy right now. And like I said before, it's not going away for a while. They definitely need to figure out how to get cars running, in different ways, like I said, and make it cheap and affordable for the average person. Because, like I said, nobody, not many people can afford an electric car or a hydrogen car. I know they've experimented with those.
With all these damn tariffs. I'm kidding.
But yeah, like as far as electric cars go too, like they're good for if you live in a city or something like that. But like if you have to drive distances, like you have to stop and recharge the battery all the time.
I'm saying, yeah, in the near future, yeah, but I think we're close. I think we're pretty close, closer than we know. I don't know what to see, but let's go on to the next topic. Is there anything else?
Okay.
Um, so animal testing. Should animals be used for scientific and commercial testing?
Yes.
Why?
Well, I mean, we do need some kind of live study whenever it comes to medicine. And, before experimenting on people, I believe that, yeah, we should experiment on rats or something like that. It's not like rats are anywhere close to being endangered or anything like that. They outnumber us. And, you know, so, I mean, I support it.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's a good way to, find things out. Aren't we like testing cancer on rats?
Yeah, they're testing like a cancer vaccine on rats.
So I think that's a good way because we obviously need like trials. I don't know how else to simulate that. Like, let's just
yeah,
make in a lab.
Well, I mean that's the thing. You're gonna have to have some live testing.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you do it at like the cellular level or something, and collect like a blood sample or something. But I don't think they have that kind of technology down to do it at that micro of a scale. You really need to do it, to see how it affects the organism and stuff. And like I said, it's a lot better to be experimenting on rats than try it on people first. I think.
Yeah, I can see that. I agree. I don't really see a problem with it as well. Cell phone radiation, are cell phones safe?
I don't believe they are.
Why?
I would say I definitely do buy into the cell phone radiation for sure. I mean, I've read different articles about how they've been doing studies now since cell phones have been out for, the past 15 years or whatever. And they're starting to find out that it can cause cancer, especially if you're on it all the time and holding it right up to your head.
That is concerning.
Yeah.
That's why I was talking on speakerphone.
Yeah, and actually too, on 1,000 Ways to Die, they had that on there where somebody was talking on, they were talking on their cell phone and the cell phone got overheated and exploded and blew up half their face.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's why we need nuclear cars.
Oh yeah.
Sure, I pretty much agree. Same reasons. I mean, church and taxes. Should churches, defined as churches, temples, mosques, synagogues, etc., remain tax exempt?
You can take that one first if you want to.
I think so, and I think what we should do is cut all federal funding for shit and let the churches and those kind of things pick up the slack. I think that's what they're for, charities, and hope that,
Yeah, I
really think that, the kindness would be better than giving money to bureaucrats to make decisions based on, morals.
Well, and the thing that, that doesn't make sense, on the liberals' point of view, is that they think that we should be taxing churches, but yet they don't want to have, church influence anything. So it's what do you think is going to happen whenever you start taxing these churches?
And then
they're paying more and more in taxes, and they're going to start lobbying, lobbyists and all that kind of stuff, lobbying to the government because they're now, taxpayers and stuff, and and with the amount of churches in this country, it'll be billions and billions of dollars in tax revenue. But then you'll create these lobbyist groups and everything from the churches.
Because see, they have the Catholic Church is really rich anyway.
Yeah.
And that's just that alone. So I think if we just cut the government shit, they'll pick up the slack. I really do.
Yeah.
For charity and things like that.
Well, yeah. I mean, a lot of charities do come through church. I mean, you look at St. Jude's and St. Vincent's and stuff like that. They're all predominantly Christian organizations.
Yeah.
And St. Jude's provides surgeries and stuff for kids for free. Basically, I don't think you have to pay for it. If it is, it's like low cost.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my point. So yeah, and I think everybody would save more money anyway.
Yeah.
Climate change is human activity a substantial cause of global climate change. Well, if we have Gage's way with the fossil fuels, yes, because he's a dumb fuck.
Oh yeah.
No, my biggest thing, if you don't mind, I'll go first.
Yeah.
My biggest thing on this is, yeah, we do. I think we do have a substantial impact. But us doing things to solve it right now isn't going to fix it because we're not even the biggest proponents to that. I think China and India, first of all, are way worse than we are.
Well,
so I think we need to fucking get everybody on board if we're going to talk about climate change. And the second of all, the global warming is way better than an ice age. And we are it's a little bit of a warming period. So what? People are going to have to migrate a little more north or close inland. People have always migrated, through the history of time. I really think that I think we need to address it. I know we do our part. I think for the most part, we have regulations, things like that, to help with these kind of things and hold people responsible. But again, I think if we're going to see a big impact, everybody in the world needs to be on board. And until we do that, then we can't even talk about solutions.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I think one of the funny studies that came out, I believe it was this week, it stated basically that even though we left the Paris Climate Agreement and all that, we're one of the top countries in cutting our carbon emissions. And then you look at a bunch of countries in Europe and stuff, and they increase theirs 7-8% sometimes. And we cut ours, I forget the exact number by what we cut ours by, but it was significant. And, all these other countries are, the culprits, basically. They signed that Paris Agreement, and we were giving billions of dollars to that, and we upheld our end of the bargain. But then you had places like China and India, and they were exempt from it, and they're the biggest, polluters in the world.
That only makes sense, really.
Yeah.
I don't see anything wrong with what you just said.
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
Yeah, I mean, as far as my personal opinion goes, yeah, we contribute to, a lot of things like pollution and, stuff like that. And definitely some, negative things like deforestation, stuff like that. But as far as global warming on the whole goes, I don't believe we have that substantial an impact. I believe, that it is like cycles where we go through warming periods and cooling periods. And what's that one comedian's name? We talked about that. He's like, it's been through earthquakes and tidal waves and volcanoes.
George Carlin.
Yeah, George Carlin.
Okay,
and he's like, and you think we have, any kind of impact?
Well, I think, in the great scheme of things, yes, but I think science has backed up that we do impact it. 100% we impact it.
I think in the short term,
we accelerate the process.
I think in the short term, we impact things, but in the long term,
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, for us to even fix it, everybody has to be on board. It's not just gonna be us or whatever. We need more. And I think I don't know, man. I just hope that we can figure things out. Really, I hope that everything will be okay. I think it will be, but like I was saying, I think we're going to come a long way here soon. So is there anything else?
I don't think so.
Let's see here. Okay, corporate tax rate in jobs. Is lowering the federal corporate income tax rate create jobs?
I would definitely say yes. That's pretty much been proven with Trump's tax cuts. That
I think we were talking about this before too.
Yeah,
it creates jobs, but that's about it.
Well, one of
in my pocket, but that's still fine.
One of the things is that the word corporation, for instance, is usually painted in a negative light. But you look at 95% of corporations in America, you only have to have 50 employees to be considered a corporation.
Yeah.
So many corporations in this country are actually small businesses. They're not like Google and Apple and all them.
But they are also Google and Apple.
No, I mean they have the same corporate tax rate, but you think about like a business with like 50 employees, they're going to give back to their employees more than a business with 100,000 employees.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, and the thing is, like the tax cuts have really helped small businesses and stuff.
Well, it makes us more competitive all around too.
Yeah, that
really
too.
does.
The only thing that I don't agree with is what a lot of large corporations do. They don't, give anything to their workers and stuff like that. I mean,
Well, and that, I mean,
like
that's
they're
shitty.
they're
Like
not
I said, like
they're
it's
not
shitty.
raising wages. They're giving it to their shareholders.
It's
or
shitty
whatever.
that happens, but it's fine because they're still the job. Whereas before, we didn't even have a full time job.
Yeah,
you
but
know,
I
so-
mean,
and then
if you're-
even sometimes jobs like that
But
have
like
benefits too. So additionally, it's like
But like I said, if the cost of living is increasing to the point where you can't afford anything,
I
it
know,
doesn't
but
matter.
we need to cut. If we cut things and quit with all the social BS, then it will be livable. Like
Yeah.
we could,
But
definitely like
the corporations have to play their part too.
I know, but then even if the corporations do give raises, they get taxed because it puts citizens in a new tax bracket, and they get fucked that way.
But the
And
government,
then
no,
the
the
government
corporation doesn't. The people,
No,
like-
well, the corporation, because like for instance, here
the
in Oregon-
corporation can write off all that.
For
stuff.
instance, in Oregon, okay, but that's fine if they do that, But I'm saying personally, it doesn't affect how much people make. It's pretty much simultaneously like people that like make more or get like overtime or time and a half, they get fucked by tax. Like
Well-
it's almost like free. And then at the end of the year, there's all these like penalties just for doing your part, because like it's not how it used to be. It really isn't. In some places. Now, let me put it this way: if we just make a fair tax across the board, and I don't even think we should have income tax at all in any state, then we would see, because greedy motherfuckers are going to be greedy motherfuckers, whether it's the government doing it or whether it's corporations doing it. For the most part, unless it's a small corporation, right? Like,
Yeah.
I like to think that my bosses aren't overall like greedy motherfuckers. Like they usually care about you in a way. So if we do all these like government things and make all these cuts and things, right? I think that will, people could live, and then the greedy motherfuckers can be greedy motherfuckers because people still have a job, they're not paying as much, so
At
and
some
they have
point,
livable wage. It bounces out. That's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
if you can get everything else
that's the
down,
goal. That's the goal. That's
but
what it should be.
it's easier to raise wages than it is to do that.
But again,
It's easier. Like you'd have to tank the housing market again.
Again, though,
You'd have to tank the
we have to
rent.
look. Even our corporate tax is still not as competitive as some of the other places. It's more competitive,
But
surely,
still-
than under Obama. The second thing is, so if we get those jobs, we can't keep raising the fucking taxes. I mean, the income of the employees because they're going to just go overseas again.
But the thing
Like,
is,
that's the
no,
point.
no,
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
advocating for repealing the tax.
No.
No,
I'm
it's
saying
stupid.
if you give people more money initially, like we just barely got them to come back because we have a competitive
No,
tax.
well,
Say typical job, 11 an hour.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Now they get hired on because like you're saying like we need to give them more money. 15, 16
I'm not saying
an hour.
force them.
No, I'm saying like give
they
them.
should.
Okay, they should, but they won't because if they do that, they're going to just be
But
inclined to
that's-
go back overseas.
That's not the case.
That's
with,
it.
No, that's not the case
That's
with
what
a lot-
it is. It
For
has to be
example,
compared.
a lot
You
of
have to cut regulations,
we
and then
already
you have
did
to
that.
more regulations,
Randall.
more.
Okay,
You could cut,
but
more.
no, but look,
more money.
all these banks and stuff like that, and all these employers are saying they're having record retentions and record earnings and all this stuff, billions upon billions of dollars a quarter.
But they're greedy.
And they
They're not
but where
obligated.
does that money go?
They go in
Where
their
does-
rich
You're
motherfuckers'
you're telling me
pockets.
they can't afford to pay their employees.
If they're doing
That's what I'm
that,
saying.
look, if they are doing that, they're going to fucking not pay people. They're going to go overseas.
What are you
they're going to
talking
do,
about?
dude. I'm saying if we cut like how we did. We have the corporation.
Yeah.
China still undercuts us for now.
Yeah.
Okay. If we pay people more, we've established the corporation is greedy. They've pocketed the money from the corporate cuts, right?
But the
But
thing
they're
is,
here. Okay, so it's a game of chess. If they pay more, they're not going to be inclined to pay more. They're going to go back to what they were doing.
Well, they're eventually going
and
to
pay
have
less.
to pay
Fuck.
more. No,
But
well,
that's my point.
They're already starting to.
But instead of punishing them, because they're still going to be greedy, they think greedily. If we're talking worst case scenario, again, this isn't everybody, but you want to be safe than sorry. Protect it, cut some more, make it easier on the consumers.
I get what you're saying.
Like that's what you do. That's how you make it livable. Keep cutting to make it livable.
But the thing is,
that's how you do it.
The thing is, all these like housing developments and stuff like that are corporations too.
Okay,
and they're going to keep raising. You think that, even though they have record earnings and all that, you think that they would start to lower things, but they don't.
They do the inflation because people want more, and then that's why we get in the mess we do.
People want to make. The thing is,
and the reason why people want more is because they get reamed when they get paid. It comes back to what's fun. That's what I'm telling you.
No, but sometimes a lot of
we
times
got it. Hold on, we have to cut. It's good that we can both see the time.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to part 2. There's part 1. See, it's a good debate. I'm sorry. We'll pick it up with Gage. Thank you. Justice for All Podcast.